Suffering, it's a fascinating reality, very painful reality, a reality that we spend lots of money trying to prevent for good reason. No one really likes suffering yet. It's actually all around us. There's people around us struggling most of the time. Part of what makes suffering so complex and so difficult, part of what makes it hard to see how to handle someone or help someone in the middle of suffering is that it just has so many different facets. So it just can be hard to see through the fog of the suffering that's going on for us and also for the people that we want to help out. It's a bit like this fog behind me. It just kind of obscures things. It's hard to tell one thing from another in a fog. You know, suffering, I think, says at least three things. It tells us about the consequences of sin, people turning away from God. It tells us a little bit about the nature of sin, the mark of sin, and it also is a way that we achieve liberation from sin. So I just want to take the first one really quickly, that suffering is the consequence of sin. You've seen this one, I'm sure. You've seen that people make decisions and they do things and it doesn't work out, especially when people decide to do things in a way that God says not to do them. Consequences are a very natural outflow of their decision. You know, the person looking at porn who's married can't expect that it's not going to have any consequence on his marriage. You can't expect that it's not going to have some consequence on him as a person. It will have a consequence, and there will be suffering that will be involved in that. It may not be at the start. I mean, sin always seems good at the start. It's always got a chocolate coating, but once that chocolate coating is worn off, it's poison on the inside and it brings about suffering in people's lives. So I want to ask you a question. Do you think God has compassion upon you when you're suffering as a result of the consequence of your decisions, the sins that you've committed? It's a tough one, eh? Is God empathetic toward you when you did it? It was your fault. It's a consequence of what you chose. He told you not to do it and you went ahead and did it anyway. Do you think he feels compassion and empathy toward you? You know what? I want to give an emphatic yes to that. Absolutely he does. Absolutely. I mean, there's a sense in which the whole of humanity, if we talk about humanity as a whole, look, there's no sin that wasn't self-inflicted. There's no suffering that wasn't self-inflicted. It's all self-inflicted when we think about humanity as a whole. And God has compassion upon humanity. So much compassion, so much love that he goes to the cross and he takes on the sins of everyone that puts their faith in him. And then in Hebrews, it talks about how we have a high priest who can sympathize with us in the middle of our sufferings. He does care for you. Even if you did it, even if it was your fault, he cares for you. He has compassion upon you.